Hello everyone, this is Zapabad. I am making this video just to help people that are coming from StarCraft 2 get used to some things that work differently in Age of Empires 2, mostly to stop that feeling of you might have if you're coming from StarCraft especially, where you're just wondering why the hell don't your units do what you just told them to do. Why is this game so broken? So the game is not broken most of the time. It's kind of broken sometimes in the unit commands thing, but most of the time it just works differently. So I'm gonna demonstrate some of the principles here. So for the first example, I'm just gonna do a simple, and this is the most important thing you might do. If you learn something, just learn this. I'm gonna build a mill and 4 farms. This one, I'm shift clicking every single building up top, doing the same thing, but then I'm just clicking the mill. So down here I shift click everything, it's gonna finish building the mill, then this farm, then this farm, this farm, this farm. This one I just click the mill, no shift clicking required. Let's see what happens. As you can see up here, every villager has now found a farm that it's trying to seed, while down here every villager, so 3 villagers are building this farm, then 2 villagers are building this farm, and then 1 villager is gonna build this farm. You can see just how much faster this up top is. Villagers will sort themselves out most of the time, as a caveat, if you just build a mill and then build a bunch of farms. You didn't even need to build the mill. The mill is just for illustration purposes, as you can see here. I just clicked, everyone clicked the farm, so all 4 are here, but let's see what happens after this. So after this, everyone, well, not everyone, but this one goes to this farm, this one goes to this farm, and then lastly this one goes to this farm. So as you can see, they kinda sort themselves out. So let's do it one more time. This. Everyone on the same farm, and then let's see what happens again. Okay, now 3 on this farm. Let's see if the last one is different. Okay, so a little bit of weird pathing, but they kinda sort themselves off. I didn't even have to shift click. So while this might not gain efficiency, you just don't have to shift click. Just build a bunch of farms, click everyone to go to the same farm. It might not be very might not affect so much if you're doing 4 farms, but if you're doing like 12 farms, it's gonna take a long time if you shift click all the farms for the villagers to sort themselves out. If you just click, they will do their thing. Don't worry about it. Less is more, you know? I mean, if you're coming from StarCraft, you're mostly familiar with what patrol means, attack move means, aggressive stance. Sure, that's just StarCraft. Everything in StarCraft is aggressive stance. And defensive stance and stand ground and no attack stance, you know, kinda, you can get the meaning out of a lot of this. Just have a brief description, I don't know. So here, I'm gonna demonstrate something where I am A-moving. So here, I'm gonna A-move, and my knights take a... You can see, like, in StarCraft, if I just A-moved, my knight would just be attacking the villager. Why is it going back like this and then attacking the villager? This is very weird, very confusing. Please don't do this, knight, just attack the villager. So this happens because of what I like to call the arrow timing. So as you can see, when I click something to move, or to well, attack move in this case, what happens is the knight will try to go to where I ordered him to until the arrow is finished its animation. So after the arrow completes, like it's no longer showing, then the knight goes to attack. So you might lose a lot of time just from doing this if you're trying to micro and like spam a moving. Like if I just spam a move here, my knight is never attacking anything. Okay? So if you want to micro, like if you want to A-move, sure, you can A-move. It's a very good habit to A-move. But just know that do not spam it. Don't spam commands, especially A-move commands or patrol commands or whatever. For military units, it's not gonna go well, okay? It's gonna reset its animation until the arrow is finished. So yeah, be aware of arrow timing in Age of Empires. So I just want to demonstrate that stand ground. Of course, it will not attack until there's something in its aggro range. So here, I'm moving here. There's a villager in its aggro range. Well, not because I didn't demonstrate it properly. But as you can see, stand ground, mostly passive unit. Now, if I try to A-move with stand ground, it is, you can see it tries to pick up the villager but doesn't quite, and now it picks up the villager. So yeah, stand ground with a move. It's just basically it's like you're in hold position but moving in StarCraft. This is hold ground in AoE2, stand ground in AoE2. Defensive stance is basically the same as aggressive stance, except the unit won't like trigger happily attack things from the other guy unless it's getting attacked or it comes into range. It's basically, it has a leash range where it will stop pursuing the unit if the unit moves out of the leash range. So defensive and aggressive stance, kind of the same thing. Stand ground, very different behavior. Be aware of that. And beware of arrow timing. Okay, here we go. Now, let's do it. You can see a lot of knights are going to attack at the same time. Hopefully this is what happens. As you can see there are stack knights that were attacking my knight. So again, I'm going to demonstrate this. I just right clicked a knight. You can see a lot of knights attack. They're all stacked in the same tile and attacking. Very weird behavior. If they have to move at all, they unstack and you can't stack them back again easily. But for ranged units can attack while they are packed up, you know, while they're clustered. So here, there's a bunch of ranged units in here. I'm gonna send the knights in to attack. You can see they are stacked, they're still attacking, while the knights, they cannot get in. This is very good, especially for cav archers, because they have big hitbox for being cavalry. And so cav archers versus knights or camels or anything that is melee, if you can find stacking points, this works even if the stack point is like little, as you can see here. So A moving the knights. Now I'm gonna micro this. Okay, attacking. Remember, not A moving, always clicking, always clicking, always clicking. You can see they don't stack as well, but this will help you. Okay, so ranged units clearly stacking while attacking. Melee units, not so much. But it is possible. And for the last one, this is very important for your economy. Please learn to do this, okay? So we have here 3 villagers chopping down wood. And if I want to shift click, here I'm gonna shift click a house. Okay, I just did it. I just press Q, and then shift click the house. Why are they not going there? So maybe they're waiting for their hands to be full and then they'll go there or something. Let's see. So hands full, 20, goes back, drops off, goes back to lumber. What is happening here? Why are they going back? So the reason is, villagers, if you shift click buildings, they will finish whatever task they are doing here before doing the next thing you told them in the queue. So this is very different from StarCraft, because in StarCraft you wouldn't ever finish the mineral patch before you go to build your thing. Like, you would just drop off your minerals and then you go. Very different here. It has to finish the resource. So now you can see they build. Another thing I would like to demonstrate here is, let's say I delete the lumber camp. So now I want to build a mining camp without dropping off the wood. What is gonna happen? Am I gonna lose the thing? So let's see. First off, you can note I'm not even clicking the mineral with shift. I'm not doing anything like that. I just ordered them to build a mining camp. Look at the wood up here right now. You can see we gained 17 wood. Okay, so something funky is happening where the villagers drop off resources after finishing a building. But this only works if they're finishing a drop-off point building. So as you can see, I have gold in my hand. Now I'm building a lumber camp. Let me speed it up. I'm not even shift clicking resources. You can see they will sort themselves out and go to their lumber places. But you can see I just gained gold up here. So if you build a drop-off point, you can move villagers off of a place into another place without losing the resources, without losing efficiency, and most importantly, without having to do this extra click of like clicking the thing to drop off and then go build something, for example, like a farm, as you would do in the feudal age. So this is very useful for feudal age if you're doing just drop-off points. So let's say, oh goddamn, I have too many on wood. You can just order them to build a farm. A farm is not a drop-off point, but it will work. As you can see here, everyone building a farm. I'm gonna have this one build this farm in 2, and as you can see, the resources in her hand are gonna go up here. Yep. So this is how it works. If you want to move villagers off of the farms, if you want to have a bunch of them, you don't want to like shift click, because if, let's say, what you would expect them to do, and what I saw Day9 doing, was he tried to shift click back the resources and then try to shift clicking farms. This is gonna take a long time. This is gonna take until this resource finish, and then everyone drops off and then goes to farm. Just build a farm. You can just build a farm. It's gonna do exactly what you want them to do, but much faster. So here again we have wood in hand, build 1 farm, build 2 farms. Remember, we don't have to shift click farms, they will sort themselves out. So as you can see here, my lumber is gonna go up, and it did. Very useful. This will also work, this wonky behavior of like finishing a building and then finishing a resource and then going to build also works here. This is just the same example I'm demonstrating in a different place, just to get this idea into your head. That here it's gonna finish the lumber. It even is gonna like do the fuck you move, and it's gonna go back to the lumber camp when its hand is full, and then coming back to the wood and still not building the house. You're gonna lose so much time if you do this. What you should be doing is just click the house and then it goes immediately, and then you can shift click buildings. You don't even have to do this really. The villagers have an aggro range, so I'm not shift clicking. They just know that something is nearby. It's kinda wonky sometimes, but most of the time it's like a 5 tile aggro range, what I like to call for building. So yeah, you can do this. Drop off points, they will drop your resources. What you shouldn't do though is, if you have food in your hand and then you just click on the wood, I'm gonna lose this wood. You can see I'm not gonna gain this wood. I didn't gain the food, and now I have wood in my hand. So you need to drop off the resources first if you want to do this. So, but as we just learned, if you plan on building a drop-off point, just do that. You don't have to, you know, get the resources back. If not, you have to click. This is extremely useful for building farms in the feudal age and later in the game, honestly. If you want to just micromanage, like, oh, I have too many on the gold, I want to get them to stone, you don't even have to drop the gold, just go to stone. It will work. It's gonna be awesome. And it is also very useful if you're going for hunt in the early game. So let's say you're going for deer especially. So deer are kind of far away, they spawn kind of far away from your town center. What you can do is have villagers on the deer. First of all, you can shift click every single deer, it's gonna know what to do. So for example, if I do this, it's gonna finish this resource and then go to this resource and then go to this resource. So what you can do with deer is the same thing. You just shift click all 4 deer. Let's say the trees are deer, as it sometimes happens. You can just shift click all 4 deer. It's gonna know how to drop off. It won't mess your shift queue. This is very good quality of life. But most importantly, since when hunting, villagers carry a lot of food, so they carry 35 food instead of 10 in the Dark Ages. What you can do is you kill a deer, you have all your hand full of food, and then you just build a lumber camp. And once the lumber camp is finished, you will gain that food. Very useful. Hope this helped you guys with some lessons of things you might have not discovered in Age of Empires unless you spent a lot of time with it. As I'm signing off, I just want to say that I'm very happy that Day9 is playing Age of Empires. As Cats was also playing, I just really like when people that are coming from other RTSs see the beauty in Age of Empires. It's a very beautiful game. I also came from StarCraft, so I'm just in love with the game. As I'm signing off, let's see a little dance. So here I'm just patrolling my knights, and then changing formation. See the wonky stuff they do. Pathing in this game is wonderful sometimes. Look at this, I love this the most. The little dance they do. Oh boy, this is beautiful. They're just dancing. And this is the one I like the most. I have no idea what I'm doing here, guy. So yeah, see ya.